one of the greatest at-bats in Mets playoff history. Down 2-0 in the ninth with runners on the corners. Pete Alonso, in what could have been his final at-bat in a Mets uniform, goes oppo-boppo off a changeup and takes the lead for the Mets on one swing of the bat. The polar bear, ice cold in the ninth. And then Francisco Lindor, the MVP candidate, steps on the bag. Ball game, inning over, game over. And we are headed to the NLDS, or the New York Mets. Game-ending double play for Lindor. The Brewers were shutting out the Mets through 8 innings. It was 2-0. The Mets had just 2 hits all game, and they win it 4-2. Are you kidding me what just happened? They had 2 hits up until the ninth. They had 3 hits, 4 runs in the ninth inning to rally back to win it 4-2. This is what this team does, right? I mean, they rally back. They started the season 0-5, 22-10 since August 29th. That's the best record in the Bigs during that span. And you want to talk about Pete Alonso and the moment that he just had? Unbelievable. And I don't like to throw around that word unbelievable a lot because I can believe a lot of stuff, and so can you. Pete Alonso's first go-ahead homer in the 9th inning or later, facing elimination in Mets playoff history. Welcome in former Marlins president David Samson. Helped the club win the World Series in 2003. Wow. What did we just watch?
We watched a team realize you get 27 outs, and we watched a bullpen that has been lights out much of the year. Devin Williams, the latter half of the year, he just threw a 3-1 changeup that Alonso was able to go the other way, and it was just over the fence. And that's baseball. That's playoff baseball. 8 innings of shutout baseball. It doesn't matter. You got to get the 25th, 26th, and 27th outs, and it's hard to do.
How about the at-bat from Pete Alonso in what could have been his final at-bat in a Mets uniform on a 3-1 count? Devin Williams keeps going changeup, and he deposits it into the right field stands. I mean, the chances of this having, David, were slim to none. And I get it, baseball is baseball, but you want to talk about a big-time at-bat for Pete Alonso? That was it right there.
It certainly was. And we talked to our pitchers, and I'm trying to understand what Devin Williams was doing. When you go changeup, the question we would ask the pitcher is, what are you changing up from? And he could have gone changeup, fastball, then go back to the changeup. But I always wonder, and I talk to pitchers about this, and they say it just feels good. They're getting ready for 98, and then the changeup comes. But you're slowing their bat down because you keep going changeup. All of that said, the odds were very low, except if you believe in odds, which say the winner of game 1 wins the series, whether it's 2 games or 3 games, and that's what the Mets did.
It had been 57 days since Devin Williams last allowed a home run. Only the second he's allowed all year. I mean, the bullpen was incredible on Wednesday. The bullpen was incredible on Thursday here in Game 3 for Pat Murphy. He got a heck of an outing from Tobias Myers, the rookie. Jose Quintana matching him. But I also want to take you back to that inning in the 9th when Francisco Lindor, their MVP candidate, who won't win the MVP, we know Shohei Ohtani will win it, but an MVP at bat, working a walk in 8 pitches, and he works the walk to set the tone to lead off the inning, to get on base and create traffic.
So we were watching this together, and what I was noticing after the Mets got out of the bottom of the 8th, they knew they had to get 2 runs to tie, 3 to take a lead, and the camera showed Lindor walking to the dugout, and he was going to be the leadoff hitter. At that point, keep in mind, he had the only hits of the game for the Mets. He got 2 hits. That's what the Mets had. And he wasn't running to the dugout in a panic. He wasn't running saying, woe is me, 3 outs, and it's about to be winter vacation. He was going to the dugout saying, hey, we're good. Let's go. And he then set the tone. And when you're down 2 runs, it's old-style baseball, but that's winning baseball. His run doesn't matter. You've got to get on base and start a rally. I happen to prefer down 2. Hear me out, Dermish. I prefer a walk to lead off an inning down 2 than a solo home run.
Yeah, look, creating traffic on the base paths, that creates chaos. We know that, and that's exactly what happened. And Brandon Nimmo also getting a base hit to keep the inning going there with the 1 out, and then Pete Alonso delivering that home run. Historic. I mean, in fact, the first go-ahead homer in the 9th inning or later facing elimination in Mets playoff history. What can you say about this team from where they started to where they're at now, fighting to get into the postseason and now advancing to the NLDS?
Well, don't forget, about a month before the trade deadline, Steve Cohen, who was perched next to the dugout and conspicuously left his seat in the 7th inning when the Brewers went ahead 2-0 after the 2 solo home runs. And believe me, players notice when owners walk away from their seat. But that said, Steve Cohen, about a month before the deadline, said, hey, the players will let me know what we're doing, because they were going to be sellers in theory. Steve Cohen wasn't going to let that happen. And then the Mets just started playing better, and then a little better. And then when you get momentum, a funny thing happens on the way to Mulberry Street. All of a sudden, you got the best record in baseball, and you find yourself in a division series against the Philadelphia Phillies, who will be highly favored in that series. But you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I don't think we're quite done yet.
I don't think we're quite done yet. Also, remember, we have this statistic that I also like to give you every year. Every team to eliminate the Brewers from the postseason has won the pennant. 6 of the 9 teams have won the World Series, the last one being the Atlanta Braves in 2021. But you remember the Diamondbacks last year won the NL pennant, got to the World Series. Could we be talking about Mets to the World Series?
The reason I'm laughing is we were together during last year's playoffs, and the Diamondbacks were not favored, and it was unbelievable that they actually got to the World Series. Remember, they had to win 2 in Philadelphia. But we kept going back to this Brewers thing. And how strange is it that a team that beats the Brewers wins the pennant? And here we are a year later when the Brewers had no right. What a great season they had. No right to even be in a wild card series, having traded their ace and with all the injuries they've had. But here we are again saying the Mets beat the Brewers. I'll say right now, Dermish, if the Mets win the pennant, once we resuscitate Riley, then we're going to talk about the Brewers again.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, I need to get I need to check on him real quick too, because I'm sure he's.
We're going to need the paddles.
Yeah, he's. I'm sure he is just. Honestly, he might have shed a tear. I mean, that's what baseball does. It's romantic, and when you have games like this, Pete Alonso. Have a day, kid. Snaps an 11-game homerless drought in his final at bat. One last word here, David. I'm seeing you.
I just want to let you know that I love that Alonso home run, but don't think that all of a sudden that gets him an extra $100 million in free agency.
No, we'll talk about that in the offseason. We'll have plenty of time to do that. What a win for the New York Mets. Oh, baby. What a win. Take a look at this. Mets in winner-take-all matchups. This is their first playoff series victory since 2015. And they head to Philadelphia to play the Phillies in the NLDS. For what it's worth, they were 6-7 against the Phillies in the regular season. Game 1, Saturday at Citizens Bank Park.